YouTube, what's going on? BD Wolfgang 1980 here, aka Bezell, the man that's seeing the place to be in the QCNC. I hope you're doing well. I most certainly am. And we're going to do something new to the channel today, something fresh. I'm going to review the Lucha Underground debut episode. This is from October 29th, 2014. I saw it when it came out. I saw it the day after, and it was really weighing on me whether I should review this or not for you guys. But you know what? I feel compelled to do it. The new episode aired last night. I'm going to review that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The show starts off with a cinematic, choreographed back alley brawl. There was some wrestling moves hitting that brawl, a few slams. I think the guy did a fallaway slam as well. We're getting cinematic camera angles while this is happening, so it's very choreographed, but you know, it made its point. You know, who cares? At the end of the day, don't we watch wrestling for fun? I do. And as this goes on, the luchador wins the fight. Another luchador walks in and says, "Hey, come with me." From here, we get a nice, cool, almost documentary style segment where the luchador is telling the other luchador that just won the fight. He's like, "Hey, do you know? Let me tell you the story of Lucha Libre. Let me tell you the history, the story of the seven tribes, and they used to wear, you know, the mask is life, and they used to wear the mask as a symbol of, you know, representing their people as far as their tribe, and only the best warriors would have this honor." And it was very informative and very respectful, which I enjoyed. Now, guys, you know me. This is BD Wolfgang 1980, your good friend Bezell. But 1980 is there for a reason. I was born in 1980. I'm 34, in case you ever wondered. So I grew up and was able to enjoy the WCW days of the Lucha Libre, and I enjoyed it greatly, just as a lot of you have if you're my age. But I think it's refreshing that this is, you know, has an outlet now. So let's get down to it. Just to kind of set the table. I enjoyed that aspect of it. They set the table for a lot of people that don't know about it, and from there we got some good action. But here we go. From there, we meet our commentators, who are Matt Striker. You might be familiar with him with the WWE. He was a commentator. First, he was a wrestler there, then a commentator. And also Vampiro. You know, hey, I enjoyed Vampiro back in the day. Some of y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, if you're my age, you know who he is from WCW. That's how I remember him. I didn't get into much of his Juggalo Championship Wrestling or anything like that, but as far as his WCW run, I remember it from start to finish. But it was nice to see Vampiro. And let's see, from there, we meet Dario Cuento. He is the promoter slash owner slash, you know, big kahuna of the show. He's the man. He definitely has a heel attitude slash persona as far as swagger with him. Let's see. He comes out and he says he likes courage, he likes honor, and he likes violence. He's got $100,000, good old American cashola, that goes to the luchador who impresses him tonight. So that's how he sets the table. Obviously, the crowd cheers to that. I'm sure the wrestlers in the back are cheering to that. Who wouldn't cheer to that? I could use 100,000. What about you, folks? From there, we get our first match. Here we are. Our first match in Lucha Underground. We get Blue Demon Jr. versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. Now, Blue Demon Jr. is completely new to me. Now, some of you down there, you might know him. You're like, Bezell, how don't you know him? Then comment down below. Tell me, you know, what I need to know about him. He's new to me, but that's no disrespect. Just for that, I'm going to make sure we don't disrespect him by saying they told his story. They said that he's third generation. They said that he's the son of a very popular wrestler of the 60s and 70s, I believe. They even said he starred in a movie. So, you know, hey, just because I don't know who you are doesn't mean he doesn't have the lineage. Now, Chavo, on the other hand, I'm very familiar with him, as I'm sure most of you are. He's been around the block. He's been on the big stage, the little stage, the medium stage. He's been everywhere. So Chavo, hey, I was glad to see him out there. Match starts off, nice tie-ups. We get some good lucha libre work. And guys, if I really can't break, I'm gonna have to use phrases like that for some of you that aren't familiar with lucha libre style. Just please watch the videos. As far as watch the Lucha Underground, check it out, get familiar with it, because it's just too much work for me to put in words. I mean, you got a lot of tie-ups, a lot of snapmares, flips, nip-ups. So I'm just gonna say good lucha work, good lucha libre work in instances like that. So let me continue. Okay. From there, We had some nice tie-ups, good lucha work. I even put in my notes, Chavo still looks good, and he did. Big chops from Demon to Chavo. And let me tell you something, guys. You can hear these chops all the way around the world. I mean, they were something else. I hate to be Chavo's chest. I mean, check out that. Please watch the first episode. And if you did, comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this match. Also, we see a tilt-the-world backbreaker from Demon to Chavo. Now, from here later, Chavo makes his comeback. He does a tornado DDT, as he's always done through his career, and sure enough, it looked nice. And also a crossbody outside, but to no avail. Demon gets him in this almost like a scorpion, but then he grabs the arm and twisted it up at the same time, and Chavo taps out to it. I put in my notes a scorpion / arm wrench. Your winner, Blue Demon Jr. There you go. The first match was good. It was interesting. It was to the point. Not a bunch of, jiving around. Good solid action. You got to keep in mind, folks, this is a brand new show. So if you're just tuning in and you're watching it, they want to try to hook you with, this is the first match that they're going to try to hook you in with. So, hey, hats off. It was a good, fun match. Lots of talent on both sides. From there, we get what I think are the star of the show. Comment down below. Please tell me what you think, if I'm crazy or not. Their backstage segments were on a level that I would call either a movie scene or a cut scene. And all my gamer friends out there, you know what I'm talking about. They were that on point, guys. Now I've seen some reviews where some people said they felt like it was too much because they're watching a wrestling show. Guys, we're watching wrestling. Let it go. Just enjoy. I mean, you see what I'm saying? We're watching wrestling. Let's let go of all this. Oh well, this is too serious, or this is even not serious enough wrestling. You're watching wrestling. Think about it. End the story. Just enjoy. Okay. I hope we don't have to have this discussion again, but I have a feeling we might. But just relax. Just enjoy. And let me tell you something. These segments were seriously on point. It felt like I was watching a movie. Let's continue. We had Dario in his office. Dark lit room. There's music playing. Well shot as far as the cinematography. Like I said, it felt like I was watching a movie. Let me continue. Dario's in his office with Conan. They're in there talking about money and talking about how he wants the best fighters in the world. And I also like how they use the term fighters or warriors to describe their wrestlers here. I really enjoyed that about this episode, but let me continue. And Conan is insisting that the warrior he has is going to be the best. He's going to be there to take the $100,000 prize from Dario. Dario says that he just signed the biggest former free agent in the game. He says he's cocky, he's arrogant. His name is Johnny Mundo. But I signed him to humble him because he doesn't respect my temple. Now, as far as Dario is concerned, guys, I like him. I mean, I'm taking it for what it is. He's a little cheesy sometimes, a little sly, a little slick, but it works. Just like I said, I'm letting it go. I'm trying to, throw my hands up. I want to enjoy the ride, and I did. He worked for me, especially the way this scene was shot. Comment down below if you agree with me or disagree. Tell me what you think. He says he signed him to humble him because he doesn't respect my temple. Dario says, have your man beat Mundo and the money is yours. Conan obviously nods his head in approval. From there, we get a Prince Puma, who's one of their luchadors, intro promo. Conan cuts it. I don't know if Puma can speak English or not. We haven't heard him talk yet at all, but Conan cuts it and he puts him over telling the story of, once again, they go back to the 7 tribes of the Aztec warriors and how that Puma is somehow traced back to the bloodline. They talk about the importance of the mask and how if he were to ever lose the mask because he's a real luchador, it might as well be his death. And Conan says because of him and his experience and him being a legend in the luchador business, he's going to take him to glory. It was a good promo, guys. Very informational, very fun, very well shot. Okay, from here we get another match. It is the Son of Havoc versus Sexy Star, a woman. That's right. We're going to have an intergender match here. I mean, they act like it was no big deal, so they just went on ahead with it. I'm going to go roll with it too. We had a video intro of Sexy Star. She says wrestling in the mask saved her life. She said women can be as strong as men. Women can kick just as much butt as men. It was a very good, very inspirational promo. You know, if you have a daughter or your woman or anyone with you, or if you're just a female wrestling fan yourself watching this, it was a very inspirational promo. It made me feel pumped up. I'm not a woman, but no, it was very inspirational. I was definitely pulling for her from this point forward in the match. From there, Son of Havoc tells her to get out of his. He grabs the mic and says, "Get out of his ring and go get counted out because I'm not wrestling some woman." And from there, Sexy Star obliges. She gets out of the ring. She acts like she's going to leave. The referee gets to about a 5 count, and as this happens, Havoc has his back to Sexy Star. Well, Sexy Star runs back in, and they ring the bell, and she takes it to Havoc. She gets to jump on him. From there, she's fighting, she's swinging all she can, but she gets cut off pretty quick. And from there, Havoc takes over. But we do get a nice crossbody from Star to Havoc, but once again, Havoc just cuts her off, catches her, uses his power. It was I don't want to say unfair because she really looked good and she could rock and roll with the guy, and that's how she was able to take the beating that she took. You know, she sold every move the right way. So hats off to her. So don't make it seem like they I don't think they disrespected her. I think that they're trying to build something with this. Maybe they're going to have her take him out one day. But let me continue. She does that crossbody to Havoc, but to no avail. Havoc grabs her and puts her into a backbreaker, the type where you hold her up and then he dropped her down on one knee and gets the 1, 2, 3. It was a very good effort from Sexy Star, but to no avail. It's okay. It is like that sometimes. Son of Havoc is your winner. But I don't think that's the end of that. I enjoyed it. Like I said, Sexy Star looked good. It's not over. She's going to say that, I think with her whole gimmick, at least what I got off her first impression is she's going to be a fighter, one that never gives up. She'll take it back to him. But let's move on. From there, we get a cutscene. Chavo Guerrero is in the locker room. He's got the towel over his head. There's the sweat pouring down. He's shaking. And guys, this was well shot. Once again, these cutscenes are like movies. The lighting was perfect, on point. He's in the locker room looking very disappointed. Dario comes in and rubs salt in the wound and the fact that he lost. He said, "Man, I thought you were going to prove the Guerrero family is the best. I thought you were going to definitely win my money. But you tapped out." He said, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, if you saw this, but to me, this was maybe the funniest part of the whole show. Talk about rubbing it in. Yeah, he's a Guerrero. Yeah, he knows better. Hey, I'm not done yet. He said, "You tapped out." He said, "What would your family say? What would your grandfather say? What would your uncle say? What would your father say?" I mean, he let loose on Chavo. The whole time Chavo sit and took this. He said, "But since you couldn't get it done, next week a man is coming who I can't control. 1,000 deaths is upon us." Now, we should find out about that, I guess, next week. Okay, it's time for your main event. Now, here's another plus of the show. As you can tell by the time of this review, we're just rock and rolling here, guys, and I'm enjoying doing this for you. But let me tell you something. This show is only an hour long. For me, that is a serious breath of fresh air, and I'm sure for some of you it is too. So really, if you haven't watched it, give it a shot because really, it's not going to take up much of your time. It breezes through just like we're breezing through right now. Let's rock and roll. Your main event, Johnny Mundo versus Prince Puma. Now, we had an introduction of Prince Puma earlier, which I told you was the luchador. I don't want to say wrestler. I want to pay respect to the show. The luchador being trained by Conan. Now, Johnny Mundo, for some of you guys, I know you know who he is. I know him very well as well. Johnny Mundo is a.k.a. John Morrison from WWE fame. He was like a 7-time tag team champion, I believe a 3-time intercontinental champion. He definitely put in some work. He definitely had his time and his moments. But here he's Johnny Mundo, which means Johnny World, versus Prince Puma. A lot of hype for this match. Obviously, I know how good Mundo is. And we saw the promo packages for Prince Puma earlier, which they showed a lot of promise. So here we go. Good action from the start. Exchange kicks, chops. Morrison knocked down Puma with a chop, and he immediately, I put down super quick in my notes, folks. He immediately nipped up Shawn Michaels style, but it was so quick It looked like his back never even touched the mat. It was so fast. It was absolutely amazing. If you don't even want to watch the whole show, watch the match between Mundo and Prince Puma. Let's continue. A super quick nip up from Puma, showing super quick agility. Mundo shows he still got it with some nice chain wrestling, lucha style. Crowd is super into it. We get a double nip up from a double knockdown. Once again, both wrestlers showing what they can do. We also had a show of respect from each other at this point. They looked at each other with a double nip up. We get a very nice double back flip, Hurricane Rana from Puma. What happened was he bounced off the springboarded off the ropes, did the double back flip, and as he came down with his legs to land, Mundo caught him perfectly on the shoulders, and then they did the Hurricane Rana. They sold it perfectly. It was actually, very nice spot. From there, Mundo does take over later with an enziguri and an elbow to the jaw. Puma shows out with a, what does it say here? Oh, excuse me, with a seated senton. Excuse me, yes, a standing senton. I mean, it was absolutely awesome. I mean, you want to talk about agility. Man, this guy's awesome. Action goes outside, goes blow for blow. We get back inside. We get a 2 count from Mundo. We get 2 flying clotheslines from Puma. We get a standing shooting star press as well. I mean, this Puma guy is something else, guys. I mean, really, check this match out, please. I can't convey that enough. Mundo goes for the Fin del Mundo, which is the end of the world, which I guess that's the name of his finisher. We all remember the Starship Pain from his previous days. Excuse me. He goes for that, but misses. But he lands. Mundo's very athletic. He just missed it, but he landed on his feet. Puma hits a nice double knee for a 2 count. He misses a springboard 450, which was absolutely going to look awesome. Who was that did that back in the day, guys? WCW. Was it Psychosis? No, not Psychosis. It was Juventud Guerrero. Guerrero, wasn't it? They used to do that beautiful 450. Well, this was another one on level of that, but he missed. Mundo hits. Okay, here we go. Mundo hits the Moonlight Drive for a 2 count. Then Mundo hits a standing Spanish Fly, which is a move if I'm familiar with it with him, then I forgot it. But it looked really cool. Then he hit the Fin del Mundo, or the end of the world. 1, 2, 3, your winner, Johnny Mundo. Guys, the match was on point. It was off the hook. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Please check it out. I think you will as well. Excellent. A lot of fun. 2 athletes doing their thing, putting on a show for you and me. Let me tell you, it was off the hook. All right, here we go. Now from there, Johnny won. He's standing there being sportsmanlike. He's, pointing at Puma. Hey, thanks for the good match. They're holding each other's arms up in victory. Did Johnny win the money? Great, awesome. Let's find out. Dario comes out. He's got the briefcase. He's got the cash, the payola. He says, hey, congrats, you win. He opens up the briefcase, shows all those brother Benjamins in there to Mundo. And as Mundo steps forward, smile on his face to grab the case, Dario closes it. Mundo's like, okay, what? All right, maybe just being funny. He steps forward and no, Dario's not letting go of the case, and a tussle ensues, and Mundo's trying to get the case from Dario, and that's not happening. And next thing you know, 2 men rush into the ring, looking like they just got off the street corner somewhere. They come to the ring, they attack Puma, they attack Mundo. Let's see here. They actually, yes, they get them really good. I mean, they got the upper hand on them. Then we see a familiar face walk down to the ring. Some of you probably know him as Ezekiel Jackson from the WWE. That's who I know him from originally. He was just in TNA recently for a cup of coffee, but he's here as well. He comes out. He comes to the ring. He attacks Puma. He throws him to the other guys. At this point, we don't know who these guys' names are, so I'm going to keep that in context of this review. He throws him to the short guy, and they actually, he throws them to both, and they hit a nice 2-man move. They did one lifted him up for a face plant, and then the other caught him with the knees. It was really nice. From there, Ezekiel Jackson comes in. He grabs Mundo. We get a vicious choke slam, which of course Mundo sold excellently, as he does. I mean, he's a great athlete. It was a vicious choke slam. From there, Dario comes in there. He says, I want the best fighters. I want the best warriors. And that just doesn't include luchadors, people. That includes gangbangers, thugs. So I'm guessing from here, these guys aren't wrestlers. They're luchadors. They're off they're off the street corner. That's the gimmick we're going to get with this. So whatever. I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. Hey, he said he got $100,000. I'm taking all comers. I welcome all comers. So I like that aspect of it. Welcome to Lucha Underground. And the show ends. Guys, I wrote in my notes, off the hook. Screw it. It was off the hook. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, I really did. I like the storylines. I like the cutscenes. The cutscenes made for the whole show. It's only an hour, and I can't stress that enough. It's only an hour. The camera works. They had a camera that actually was above the ring. They used that a lot. But here, where do you go? Is this just a seasonal thing? Are they going to try to, if this gets enough ratings, are they going to try to just make it happen, a new episode every week and do their best to keep up with that? Where do you go from here? But I'll tell you what, I can't wait to find out. I hope you can either. Comment down below. What did you think of this episode? I was actually surprised. Are you? Did you enjoy it? I certainly did. Well, guys, let me tell you, I had fun with it. I hope you did. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think. Please tell a friend. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed doing it for you. Stay tuned. I'm going to do episode 2. I'm going to watch it shortly, and I'll get that video up for you, and we'll see how this story unfolds on episode 2. We'll see, is there a drop off? Do they get even better? Obviously, hopefully they're going to introduce some new luchadors. But let's find out together. Now, I just want to end the video saying this, as I kind of stressed earlier, it's okay if maybe this isn't really your cup of tea. It's okay. I mean, all I'm saying is, with everything that's been going on WWE and TNA, and I love TNA, I really do. And I used to really love WWE, but let me continue. With everything that's going on with that, this right now for me is a serious breath of fresh air. And it was fun, Certain part of me felt, at times like, man, is this being a little cheesy? I had to question that. I had to remind myself, what are you doing? Just relax, just enjoy. So I hope if you do watch it, give it a chance. If you watch it and you don't like how the storylines and things like that work, still do yourself a service and watch that Mundo versus Prince Puma match. Excellent match. Till then, be good to one another. Share, like, subscribe. Comment down below. And I will see you next time. Bezell out.